Mitzy's daughter is 9 years old and in grade 4. She likes to play sports and sing and play dress up in her mom's clothes. A happy kid in a happy kid world. But Mitzy needs to tell her daughter something, and she's worried that when she does, it will be the end of that world. A quick warning, the story you're about to hear talks about sexual abuse. This is Mitzy's story.
My daughter doesn't understand why I ask her the questions I do, why I grill her every time she goes outside to play, or why I need to know the details of something as simple as a sleepover at her cousin's house. All the details. She doesn't know the horrible memories that haunt me every day. She doesn't know these thoughts come on more often since she was born. Terrifying flashbacks of the daily painful encounters, living in fear, not knowing when he would strike again, and not being able to tell a soul. It was normal for me to stay in while my stepfather sent my 4 brothers outside to play in the community yard. I was only 11 years old at the time. I was the only girl. While my brothers were outside playing, it would happen. My stepfather would rape me. Or he would rape me at night when everybody else was asleep. I remember times when he would come to me and I wouldn't do as he said. Then he would fight with my mother. The bloodstains on the walls and the floors remind me of the pain I just caused. I would feel such guilt when the cops would come, when the fights would be so bad that the neighbors would call the police. I would be too nervous to even speak. I would cry to my mother to leave him, but she would always take him back. So, my only solution was to keep quiet. In high school, everyone looked at me as this happy-go-lucky girl. I was on all the athletic teams and always volunteering with the community. My happy place was outside or at school with my friends. Time went on, and my mother finally decided to leave my stepfather. But even though this man was out of our lives, these memories remain. They live with me every day. When I found out I was having a child of my own, again these memories were there, rushing like a nightmare from a horror flick. But there was something new attached to these memories, a need to protect my daughter. When the doctor brought her to my arms, she was so warm and soft and smelled like a basket of freshly picked roses. When I looked at her, I saw myself in her eyes. And that scared me. As she grew older, I could only teach my daughter the signs of danger. It's not okay for people to touch you in certain places. And abuse, it usually starts close to home. An uncle, a stepdad, an aunt, or even maybe a brother. My daughter is very open with me. She's 9 years old and a happy and cheerful girl with a star personality full of life. But she gets overwhelmed with all my questions and concerns. I would often ask her, did anyone kiss you or touch you in places that, made you uncomfortable? She would answer me with a puzzled look on her face like, Mommy, why are you asking me these questions? Sometimes she would break down crying, and I would feel so bad. I was just trying to protect her I realized I needed to say something to her, to tell her about my past. Maybe it would help if she knew why Mommy was like this. So I took a long walk with my daughter one summer afternoon. We bought ice cream and talked about all her favorite things. We sat down on a bench along a path that was made of grass and flowers, and other children were playing nearby with their families. I said to her, I know you don't know why Mommy asks you so many questions all the time, but there's a reason for these questions. When Mommy was a little girl, around your age, someone I thought I could trust, my stepfather to be exact, was touching me in places he shouldn't have been. I was scared to tell my mother, but I shouldn't have been afraid. I don't want anyone to ever hurt you like they hurt Mommy. My daughter started crying, reaching to hug me, telling me she was sorry. I told her it wasn't her fault. I can feel the sympathy pulsing from her tiny arms as she reached around my neck. As young as she is, she knew her Mommy was hurt. I could tell my daughter was very uncomfortable with what I had just told her, but she was smart enough to know that person could never hurt me again. And after that walk in the park, she doesn't get upset when I question her about where she's been. I feel she gets it now. This was a hard thing to do. Very hard. I was scared to share this experience with my daughter because I didn't know how she would react or how she would take it. But all that matters now is I'm confident that she would come to me or her father if anything like this were to ever happen to her.
Mitzy has started a program to support youth who have been sexually abused. You can visit our website to find a link to Mitzy's blanket program. That's cbc.ca/docproject.